Hooray for Hollywood. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. Oh, hello there. I am Stan the Movie Man, and this is my review of a kind of a different movie. Since there were no major studio releases coming out this particular weekend, I decided that I would see something a bit different. Now, I could have seen some of the bigger movies that I haven't seen yet, things like The Grinch or Creed 2 or The Crimes of Grindelwald, or anything along that line. But I decided to check out what was at my local art house theater, and something there struck my fancy, if you will. It's called Border. It is a Swedish film, and I will not be able to pronounce any of the names of the actors and actresses, so I'm just not even going to try. But the plot is something like this. A border security guard named Tina, well, she looks different than other people. She looks like the artist's representation of a Neanderthal. And she has a very highly developed sense of smell. Now, not only can she smell things, she can smell emotions like fear and guilt and shame and, pretty much the gamut. And she uses that in her job to catch people who are doing things wrong. She is a border security guard at a ferry dock. And when the ferry boats come in, people come off of them, she is able to tell who needs to be searched and who doesn't. One day, while she's at her job, a gentleman who comes through who looks very much like her, has the same facial structure as her. His name is Vor. And she is immediately struck by him because she's never seen anybody that looks like her. Tina lives in a small house in the woods with a guy named Roland, who's kind of a bum. He trains and shows dogs, and these dogs don't like Tina at all. He's kind of using her. He doesn't really contribute anything, and he is aggressive sexually, even though she rebuffs him at every turn. Tina and Vor run into each other again as he is coming back on the ferry, and they begin this conversation, and they start to develop a friendship and a relationship. And Tina has Vor stay at a small house that is behind her house. It's more like a shack, but it's got a bed and a kitchen and it's just tiny and is behind her house in the woods. At the same time, Tina has caught somebody trying to smuggle child porn on a flash card inside of his cell phone protector, and this leads to a broader investigation of child pornography that Tina helps out with because of her highly advanced sense of smell. This film's it's certainly not your typical Hollywood film, I'll grant you that, because it is a slow burn. It takes a while for the plot, the main parts of the plot to kick in. But all of that stuff prior to when things really kick off is fascinating, because she has this sort of mundane life, Tina does, where she is living with this guy who's basically a leech, and she's just muddling through her life. She goes visits her father in a nursing home, and he is apparently on the edge of dementia. The film just grows slowly over time until finally you realize how Tina and Vor are connected, and this broader world you don't know anything about, and the darkness that is surrounding Tina and Vor that she doesn't know anything about. Vor knows more about Tina than Tina does, and that becomes sort of the thing that starts everything rolling as far as the plot goes. The more sort of fantastical parts of the plot. I really enjoyed it. Now it's not playing everywhere. It's a Swedish film in Swedish, and you have to read the dialogue. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of it. It's a lot of scenes of Tina walking barefoot through the forest and her work as a border guard, and there's a lot of scene setting and atmosphere that is created in the film. And when things do happen, when things are said that explain the plot in ways that you do not expect, it just it makes your head explode. You won't be able to see it in a theater because it's only playing in your art house theaters, and there aren't nearly as many of those as your multiplexes, where you can see the latest blockbuster. However, it will be available for too much longer on streaming if it isn't already. You can probably already rent it on iTunes or wherever. So I really want you to take a chance on Border, because it is a fascinating film about a weird world that is beyond our understanding or experience, but is well worth a visit to. I really enjoyed Border. I'm giving it 5 stars. Go to StanTheMovieMan.com to read my complete review. You can check out The Fractured Frame, a podcast where some friends of mine and I get together and discuss the latest in movie, TV, and streaming news. You can get that wherever you get your podcasts. Follow me on Twitter @MovieManStan, and you can send emails to me, StanTheMovieMan123 @gmail.com. Till next time, later.